All right, so today we are going to dedicate our class to the Sabbath. Probably we will discuss part of it today, and maybe it will probably take at least 2 classes to cover what I want to say. So the Sabbath, the question uh, is the Sabbath relevant to Noahide? Should they observe the Sabbath? And if yes, the question is how? I know that this question is on everyone's mind. So we just read in the parsha 2 weeks ago that the prophet Isaiah actually says, I'll read it for you. The prophet Isaiah in chapter 66 says, "And it shall be that every new moon to new moon, and every Sabbath to Sabbath, all flesh shall come to bow before me, said Hashem." So openly, no question. According to Isaiah, all nations, all men will observe the moon from new moon to new moon, the beginning of new moon, including Rosh Hashanah, which is actually a new moon, and including the Sabbath. So he saw what way should Noahide observe. Now I'm aware that the Talmud is pretty full of many statements against the Gentiles participating or observing the Sabbath. The point is that all those Gentiles that the Talmud speak about, all of them are idol worshippers. And clearly, idol worshippers have no place in the Sabbath, including today. Some think the Sabbath is Sunday, some think the Sabbath is Friday. Both of those camps actually don't understand what the Sabbath is. So the Sabbath, which is the most precious thing that exists in the universe, the Sabbath is preserved in the Jewish people and those who cling to the Torah. And those who deviate, well, there is an angel there that pushes them either to the right and to the left, and they lose the context. They have no clue what the Sabbath is. On the other hand, if we ask then, we go back to our question, how then should Noahide observe the Sabbath? So again, we face a problem because the Talmud is very meager about this. There is almost no mentioning in the Talmud or in the vast rabbinical literature how exactly should Noahide observe the Sabbath. There is no reference. Why? Because of historical reasons. Noahide could not exist over the last 2,000 years. They under those who deviate to the right and to the left, they wouldn't allow Noahide to do. So now, thank goodness that we see a recovery, or we see many non-Jews coming back to God, to Hashem, returning to Hashem, as the prophet prophesied. So it's incumbent on us to find the proper way, how Noahide should really fulfill what the prophet Isaiah said. How should we observe the Sabbath? So what I'm going to do now, the following. I'm going to go over the way Israel has been doing it over the last 3,000 years, 3,500 years, how we practice it today. And I would ask each of you, I would go point by point, not too many of them, don't worry, don't panic. I'll go over several points, and I will ask each of you, take a pen, a pencil, and write down those points for yourself. And then we can discuss it either in this class or in the next class to see which point relate to your heart, which point you think is relevant to what you think the Sabbath should be relevant to you. How should you celebrate the Sabbath? Interesting to see, because again, there is nothing written in stone. Everything is in limbo. Our generation need to carve out the proper way. And nobody has done it yet in an authorized way. So it's still in discussion. So again, I'm going to go over how we celebrate the Sabbath. And you can write down the point and then ask yourself, and then we can discuss it maybe next time, which point relate to you and which point does not. Interesting. So how do I'm talking we as Israel, are celebrating Sabbath today? First of all, the Sabbath is not just the weekend. When you say Sabbath, when you call Sabbath weekend, you have destroyed the Sabbath. The Sabbath, according to the Torah, is the holiest things existing. It's full of spirituality work. You don't do mundane work. You don't plow, and you don't sell, you don't do manual material works, but you do a lot of mental work, spiritual work, relation. So that's point number one. So if you go hunting and fishing and shopping on Sabbath, well, you miss the point. You don't fulfill what the Sabbath is. So what do we need to remember? What kind of mental work we need to do on the Sabbath? The Torah ordains it. The Torah, in summary, presents 3 points that you should remember every Sabbath. Point number 1 is the story of Genesis, chapter 1. First time the Sabbath is presented. Story of Genesis. Number 2, surprise, surprise, but you need to remember the Exodus of Egypt. And you can ask yourself, what does Exodus of Egypt to do with the Sabbath? Discuss it. But that's Torah ordaining, and commanded to remember the Exodus of Egypt. I'll quote to you the verse in a minute. We need to recall ourselves the Exodus of Egypt and understand what we are saying. Number 3 is to commemorate the building of the tent of the meeting of Moses in the wilderness. 3 points then: Genesis, Exodus, and the tabernacle of Moses in the desert. 3 points that we need to remember. And here I'm just going to quote to you the verse. In the 10 Commandments, talking about the Genesis, and in the 10 Commandments, it says, remember the Sabbath day to sanctify it. That's commandment number 4. 6 days you shall work, but the 7th day is Sabbath to Hashem your Elohim. You shall not do any work, you, your son, your daughter, your slave, your maid, your animal, the stranger living at your gates. For in 6 days, you know the point, for 6 days Hashem made the heaven and the earth, the sea and everything in there, and he rested on the 7th day. Therefore, Hashem blessed the seventh day, then he sanctified it. So in Ten Commandments, the Torah ordained or command us to remember the story of Genesis. Strangely enough, she said, Torah said, for 6 days Hashem, Yud-Heh Vav-Heh, created the heaven and the earth. Or wait a minute, you can ask me, we know from Genesis chapter 1, Elohim did it, the attribute of judgment. No, it says here, Hashem. And also she said, on the seventh day, she rested, he or she rested and sanctified. Well, so that's the first aspect of the Sabbath we need to remember. By the Torah as a day of remembrance of Genesis. We need to discuss. It says, it repeats itself. There are several more references to that idea. Just quote to you. Again, in Exodus, it says, the children of Israel shall observe the Sabbath to make the Sabbath an eternal covenant for the generations between me and the children of Israel. It is a sign forever that the 6 days period Hashem made 7 and a half, and on the seventh day he rested and he was refreshed. It doesn't say Elohim rested, it says Hashem rested. Well, what do you think? So here is a Sabbath in the context of the story of Genesis. Now, we said there are three points. One Genesis, the second one is a story of Exodus. And indeed in Deuteronomy, when Moses repeats the Ten Commandments in Deuteronomy, he doesn't mention Genesis. He starts, he said, you and you observe the Sabbath, you and your son, your daughter. He quote the same thing, and your servant, your stranger at your gate. And then he says, and you shall remember that you were a slave in Egypt. And Hashem, your Elohim, has taken you out from there with a strong hand and outstretched arm. Therefore, Hashem, your Elohim, has commanded you to make the Sabbath day long. So suddenly the Sabbath is beyond just story of Genesis. The Sabbath is a day to remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and that not only you should rest, but also your household, even your animals. And a scholar call that a social Sabbath. So as opposed to Genesis, which is the creation of the Shabbat, here it introduces a new topic of social. As we will see, it's not social, not merely social, it's much more. Okay, the Torah is not teaching us socialism. Besides being careful to make sure that everybody rests, there is another aspect of the Sabbath as a memory of Egypt in Exodus, and we'll discuss it in time. So that's the second point that we should remember the Sabbath. The first one is Genesis. The second one we just read is to remember Exodus. So you have a lot of mental work to do on Sabbath. You have to remember at least 2 stories. Not only in Passover, but every Shabbat. You have to remember the Exodus. The whole story of Genesis. Now we come to the third point, that the Torah itself ordained in relationship to the Sabbath. When the Torah commands on the same day that Moses came down from the mountain the second time, and he ordained the institution of Yom Kippur, repentance, forgiveness. He told Israel, I forgave you, God forgave you. In that context, he also ordered them to erect the tabernacle or the tent of meeting. And in that context, again, introduces the Sabbath. which on the surface, it looked nothing to do. What are the Sabbaths to do with what he is saying, Yom Kippur and repentance? In Sabbath, it is not a day of repentance. But the Torah says, this, I'm quoting you from that miraculous verse as he come down and he gathered all the people of Israel, all of them, children, young and old, assembled them, and they came on their own to listen to him. And he told them, these are the things that Hashem has commanded you to make them. On 6 days, work may be done. The seventh day shall be holy to you, a day of complete rest for Hashem. Whoever does work, it shall be put to death, put to death. We shall not kindle fire on your dwelling on the Sabbath day. So not only fire we should not kindle, but 39 different type of prototype of work which are forbidden to do on the Sabbath. Which work are they? Every work that was done for the tabernacle is become a prototype of prohibition. They plowed, they tied, they erected the wood, pillars, all the manual work that they did so passionately for the tabernacle. This should be stopped on the Sabbath. So 39 of them become now the prototype, classical prototype of all the prohibition that should not be done, of work that should not be done for Shabbat. And prototype, I mean, because each one of them is a derivative. And there is a whole tract of the Talmud about that, about discussing which words relate to what prototype and so on. And that is a third dimension of the Sabbath that the Torah ordained to remember on Shabbat. Of course, we remember it very much so, because every time, every work that I'm forbidden to do, I say to myself, oh, this was done for the tabernacle. That's why I cannot do it. So here we have to remember 3 things. The story of Genesis, number 1, which is a big story by itself. Then the story of Exodus, big story by itself. And the third mental story is the Sabbath is the holy day when the Shekhinah came down to dwell in the temple, in the temple tabernacle, and established the 39 prohibition of work to be done. So these 3, we mentioned those 3 types when we said at the beginning, when the Sabbath starts on Friday evening, or let's say Saturday eve, and the transition between Friday and Sabbath. So when Sabbath begins, we hold a cup of wine and we recite a blessing, Kiddush. And the Kiddush was written by rabbis, but the commandment to recall by mouth is Torah ordained. It's not enough just to sit there and meditate about the Sabbath. You have to announce it. Your ear should hear what you say, and your heart should be along with your mouth, and your brain should be along with your mouth, to completely focus on the 3 topics. In the Kiddush, when we hold a cup of wine, we do mention the Sabbath of the Exodus and the Sabbath of the Genesis, the Sabbath of Exodus, and Sabbath of the Tabernacle, 3 of them. At the beginning of the Sabbath, we hold them, and he said we are going to sanctify to keep the Sabbath, because the Torah ordained us to recall those three topics. So let's go over now on each one of them. Again, don't panic. I'm not going to, although enormous, each topic is enormous, take a whole tract of Talmud, but just the main point, and you can write down the issues, the main topic, the point by point, and ask yourself if you relate to it as a Noahide. Because this is our goal. We want to find out which way Noahide should observe the Sabbath. And all I'm doing now is just using our custom, follow the Torah, and since there is so meager information in Talmud about Noahide, and no posek, no rabbinical literature at all, that we can hang on. We cannot hang on the Rambam, we cannot write on Moshe Feinstein, we cannot write on any scholar, any Torah scholar, to tell us how Noahide should observe the Sabbath. There is no such thing. All there are is negative statements which are not related to you. It's related to idol worship. They certainly should not have any relationship with the Sabbath. Noahide is different. So topic number one, let's go over there, move there, and we'll talk about the Sabbath of January. Now, since you already been in our class for a while, you know what I'm saying is going to be familiar to you, but I'm going to summarize it. So first of all, and please write the point one by one. First of all, we need to note point number one, important one, that we begin the Sabbath not as expected down at the nightfall, with our 3 stars, it's dark, but it's capital R's. We always start the Sabbath much earlier. How much earlier? Depends on the community. But all the Jewish community, anywhere, anytime, always started the Sabbath way before. And it's not the question is, we are not so sure when the nightfall starts. It's much more deeper than that. We started on the Sabbath, on Friday, but it's still daylight, because of what? To commemorate chapter 1 of Genesis. It shows that the Sabbath enters Friday. How is it? I'll try to put here the slide. Let's see if it works. Okay, I need to share my phone video, and I hope that it can come on. Okay. So you see here, the slide shows the end of chapter 1. You're familiar with that. The red is the 6th day on top. Elohim did this, Elohim did that. He created. He saw it was good. Then he made Adam in our form and our image. And then finally he said, look, Torah says, he saw everything that it was done, and it was very good. Here it was good, and here and the end is very good. Then it says Yom in blue. Yom, the day 6, Ashishi. The line here is the Sabbath. They enter it because Yom Ashishi is the end of the 6th day. And Yom and Vayechulu Hashemayim, the BH, the text says the end of 6th day, God ended the heaven and the earth. So that's what he said here in acronym. In the beginning, before making Adam, this YHVH in the acronym was completely in the blue part. None of that was penetrating the red area. The red area is our universe. The Shabbat is a domain which is a Hashem universe. It's a 7-day of creation that we have no idea how it looks like. It's a day that Hashem prevailed, the attributed mercy prevailed there. But at the beginning, each attribute was completely on its own. But as you remember, when Elohim wanted to Elohim move the creation day by day, from day 1 to day 6, and then he came to create Adam, the first creature that has a free mind, a free choice, and full of desires and passions. And Rashi said that Elohim figured out easily that creating such a creature in his universe, this creature won't stand a trial. Now, Elohim, to remind you, is very harsh. He is kind. He created the universe day by day. He provided food to his creature, and is full of justice. But it's also full of pain, just pain. Animal eat and are being eaten in justice, but no mercy. So if Elohim figure out if Adam, equipped with such desires and a free choice will be made in such a universe, and he will have to stand a trial, tell me if such an Adam could exist for long. Certainly we would fail easily sooner or later. And if Adam fail, Elohim will then terminate the entire endeavor, the entire 6th day, Rashi said. This would happen in previous universes. So this time, Elohim in his wisdom decided to do otherwise, to give Adam a chance to see the next day, to prevail and to win his trial, and to see enter the Shabbat. The Shabbat is the next day of creation. So to see and to enter the Shabbat, Adam will have to have the help of what? Of the attribute of mercy. Because if she participated in the heavenly court, she will offer Adam, a chance to ask him forgiveness and repent, and she will have to pardon and to start all over again. So when she came here, Elohim, so to speak, was scared to come here. You see her coming. The VH still in the Shabbat, the H, the front part, YH, the Yah, Jeremiah Yah, Isaiah Yah, the Yah is here in the 6th day. And this is what we call basically Shekhinah. And when she entered the universe, it established. It now has a direction to go to the Shabbat. And Adam has a chance to win his trial. So her advent, said the Sfat Emet, her advent, or the Sabbath, when she entered, she came in with her Sabbath. The Sabbath day is a miracle in our universe. And because of the Sabbath, we exist. Universe exists. If the Sabbath wasn't here, this universe in the red would have wandered right or left. We will wobble. He won't find a way to the next day. But she acted like an anchor. She tied the red to the blue, and suddenly we have direction, and the universe won't falter. I'm quoting now the Levite choir in the temple that I quote to you. They used to sing on Friday, Hashem has reigned, he has guarded himself from you. Hashem has robed himself, has girded himself with strength. The word has been consolidated or established, it will not falter. So on Friday afternoon, the word became established, won't falter, won't wobble, because the Sabbath is here. So Sabbath suddenly is the reason why it says Sfat Emet, according to Sfat Emet. Sfat Emet is a Hasidic master, very important one. So the Sfat Emet says the Sabbath is the reason why our universe exists. Without the Sabbath, we would have been lost. So not only she came here, I'm quoting now the Sfat Emet. You see here that YH, she penetrated the Friday. But in fact, she actually continued to enter the entire 6th day. Not only the end of the 6th day, but the entire universe, the entire 6 days, she entered to establish it. She is there underlying the red. Way deep beyond the red, the blue is there. The Shekhinah is there behind, deep. Here you see her in the open, in the Sabbath, but on day to day, in our mundane life, she is there. Only that she is covered from our eyes by material things, by our work, by Elohim, if you want, and by our struggle for life. But she is there. And she wants to come to the open, even in the red. Because the eternal Sabbath means, think what the eternal Sabbath means. The eternal Sabbath means that the blue take over the entire red. I repeat, the eternal Sabbath means either that the world, the red, climb up to the Sabbath and become red, become blue, or the blue descend to the and replaces the red. Again, the Shekhinah wants to bud to the eternal Sabbath is a day that control our entire universe. The Sfat Emet says, we have, as a human being, we don't know, we cannot understand what the eternal Sabbath is, because there is no life there, no death, no birth, no tribulation, no trial. It's beyond our imagination, the eternal Sabbath, the Sabbath to come, the blue one. But we know that our universe is going to that direction. Otherwise, it would have been lost. Elohim would eliminate it. Elohim wanted to go there. And when even our universe reaches the eternal, the Sabbath to come, it's what Emet says, then everything, YHVH will be in the open. And replaces Elohim. Elohim will rest, will abstain, and YHVH will take over. That's the eternal Sabbath. Right now, the Shekhinah or the YH is seen here on the Sabbath, on the YH, close to the end of the 6th day, but during the week, she is inside. Our task then, and I quote Sfat Emet, what we do, why is Adam here, is to help the Shekhinah come out into our universe. We need to bud the blue into the red, to do good things, to do her work. when we conduct normal life, we don't need to sit in a cemetery, in a cave and meditate. On the contrary, we need to do mundane work. We need to do material work. We need to engage in material things, but to stick to the Torah and do what the Torah wants from us to do, and to keep all the commandment between man and man, and to do things beyond the commandment, to be like Abraham, to be charitable and doing Maaseh Chesed that she likes. Every time we do that, when we do good things according to the Torah, we bud, says Sfat Emet, we bud the blue, a little bit blue into the red, like an apple. The Kabbalah describe it according to the Song of Songs, Solomon, it refers there as an apple field. So suddenly, according to the Sfat Emet, our universe can be full of apple. Apple means nothing to do with the story of Eden. It's an apple that represents the Shekhinah budding into our universe. And finally, when we do a lot of that, the whole red will turn blue. What I'm saying here is not mystical, theoretical. It's part of the celebration of Friday night. I sit by my table and I sing the song after the kibbutz. Or some say it's a custom even to say it before the kibbutz, before the meal. I sing a song that tell us that all the apples are now ready to enter the Shabbat, to join the Shekhinah on the Shabbat. So if you come up in your Siddur and such a reference, now you know what I'm talking about. And this has nothing to do with Jewish or not Jewish. To do the Shekhinah work, to do Maaseh Chesed, compassion, it's nothing to do with the law. Certainly it can be related, it's meaningful for Noahide as well as Jews. Then don't talk about anything but by the law. Talk about doing work that help the Shekhinah come in, but into the world. Particularly through work. The same work, like when I plow the field, I think about the Talmud, the law of how should it be done and what should not be done, how much should I leave for charity and so on. When I do commerce, when I do in my shop, I sell, I call myself all the laws of righteousness, or to not to cheat and not to do the right thing. And so when I do, involve the Torah in my daily life, I have the Shekhinah bound. I create an apple. Some say I create an angel. Fine, if you like the angel, better. It's just for them I talk about apples, which in a quick word, that's Kabbalah. And that's only a metaphor. The apple is only a metaphor. Field of apples. My beloved one is like an apple tree, like an apple among the boys, Song of Songs. So my beloved one. So my beloved one is like an apple. So here is the source of that metaphor. It's in China, the budding is like the puach. It's a beautiful fruit that bud into Elohim world. To help finally the universe move to elevate itself towards the Shabbat. So I'm going back to continue what our practice there on Friday night. First, I go over again. We start on purpose. We started on Friday. After singing welcome, we sit together and sing six sound songs that all of them call the nation to join. So you see it right from the way we welcome the Sabbath, that we ask all the nation to join. So don't ask yourself, is Noahide are included or not? You are being called. But the prophet said, you're called to observe the Sabbath. At least in this fashion, which is the most important one. So although it's the Shekhinah is covered during the 6th day by thick material and even by Elohim presence, but we help her to body and to join that our universe can move towards the futuristic Sabbath day to come. So says Sfat Emet. Now, what does Sfat Emet also say? Something beautiful. During the week, we just said, the Shekhinah is covered by thick material clothing. She's deep there, beyond every atom, any molecule, deep there. We only help her in spiritual. We help her by doing spiritual work. You cannot build machine to help her. Won't help. Science won't help. Only good deeds can help. So during the week, she's covered. Now listen to that. On Sabbath day, on our Sabbath day, the Shekhinah comes out and disperses the cloud of all the material things. The Sabbath day, our day, is the only day of the week that the Shekhinah shines in the open, looking at us, showering on us love, joy, and happiness and holiness. I repeat, you don't see her during the week. She's actually in Eden there. But when the Sabbath comes, our Sabbath comes, all the cloud disperses, and she appears on the Sabbath, looking at us, trying to shower us blessing and joy and happiness. Now, vow to the man, says Sfat Emet, who missed the point. If I go shopping, if I go shooting animals, because people call sport, or if I go something else, to my work, I can excel in my work, but I miss her blessing. Because if she don't bless you, if she disappointed by you, when she shine on you, whether you are Jew or not Jew, she will go away. If she goes away from you, you know with whom you are left? You are left with Elohim, who deal with you measure by measure with no mercy, no pardon, no chance of repeat itself, like it was in the beginning, like it couldn't be. So vow to the man who have missed the point, who missed the Sabbath. And he spent it on material things. He continued to continue struggle daily life, to achieve more poet, more money, more studies. And he forget that if she's not around, you are left with Elohim. And if Elohim judges you, measure for measure, with no mercy, there is no chance. You win your trial. So that's the miracle of the Sabbath, says Sfat Emet. The miracle of the Sabbath, she is here. They need to appreciate it. Now, as she cover and observe us on the Sabbath, what is she looking at? What she wants to show her blessing on you. She look at you. She she scrutinizes you, not scrutinize you, she observes you. She needs to like you, as she liked Noah. From Noah, it says, he found faith in her. So what is she looking for in you, in me, in order to show her love? Here come several points. Let's write it down one by one. According to the Sfat Emet, and according to Kabbalah, and according to the Torah, to the Talmud. She look at you, at us, if we kept oneness. What does it mean, oneness? I don't go on the topic as according to the importance, but as it come to my mind. And they all come from that diagram here. Adam is born here at the end of Friday, and he needs to keep the Elohim tied to Hashem. So Adam is uniting the red to the blue. That's called oneness. That's exactly what is called oneness. Unite Hashem with Elohim, with the Hashem, which means justice with mercy. And it's not just philosophical thing. It's uniting to understand deeply that they are one. It's a topic by itself. But here you see it in a diagram. Adam is born here just at the junction between Friday and Shabbat, and he's around it. Connect the Elohim with the Hashem. If he does not observe oneness, if he say, "Oh, I worship only Elohim," like the Cain children did, well, Hashem will depart from him, and he will not see the Sabbath. If he says, "I worship only YHVH," Elohim will be pissed off. Where am I? You don't forget about me. So keeping oneness is extremely important. Who did it? Noah did it. I'll try to show you here the slide. This is Noah. This is a heavenly court of Noah time before the flood. And you see it's first century structure, but actually the verses. The blue is Hashem talking first, judging the mankind, then judging Noah. And the red on the bottom there is Elohim. There are two symmetrical rings, the same number of Hashem and YHV and the same number of Elohim, very symmetrical rings, and each wing speaks from its own perspective, of mankind and Noah. So both of them decide, mankind is evil and bad and we are going to destroy it. And both of them decide that Noah and his family are fine, and Noah found faith. Noah keep the two wings together. He keeps. If Noah did not, here in the middle, the long part is Noah. See, Noah is appear only here in the middle. He's supported by the blue from the top and by the red from the bottom. If Noah were not supported by the two wings, only one wing, he won't survive the flood. In order to fly over the mighty water, you need two wings. Two wings, you need to fly over mighty water. So Noah in the middle here is flying over water because he kept oneness. And Noah is a Noahide, for sure. So Noah kept oneness. And we discussed it in our class, he implemented this oneness also in the family, because he came from, as you remember, from Enosh clan, who worship only the blue and Hashem. And Nama, his wife, came from Cain, who worship only the red. And there was prohibition to intermarry. Yet the marriages are there, despite the ban. And for that's why for hundreds of years they didn't have children. But in the marriage, they implemented one. And the Torah says, in fact, in the story of Eden, it says, therefore, man should cleave to his wife and become one. Noah did cling to his wife and they became one. Became oneness. Beautiful. So here is how Noah implemented oneness. And that's the first thing that the Shekhinah come down over us in Shabbat. Want to share, it's good to tell, to show on us love and joy, and to do all these people down here observe my mashal. Do they keep the Sabbath? Do they keep oneness? If not, I'm running away. If she runs away, she leave you with a Elohim, which is not so good. And so oneness, she scrutinizes us for oneness. She scrutinizes us for if we elevated ourselves, becoming very good. Before mankind before Adam was made, the Torah said Elohim observed, saw that everything is done and it was good. Then he said, let it be Adam. And after Adam, he said, and he saw everything and it was very good. So Elohim made Adam to become very good. How can Adam become very good? Elevate himself to become very good. Only if Adam will be very good, he will deserve to go into the Sabbath. How could Adam become very good, not just good? If he comply only with Elohim, he is good. But good is not enough. He will finally fail. But if he comply with both Hashem and Elohim, he is very good, and he will deserve to come into the Sabbath. And so that's why we bring to the Sabbath, says Fatemet, when we sit by the table of Sabbath, we bring with us to Hashem all the apples that we have accomplished during the week. I don't have to remember them, but they come on their own. They fly to the Shekinah. So when you sit there, see yourself surrounded by those apples, by those beautiful angels that you created during the week by helping the Shekinah to buy. And this is by observing the commandment, do not kill, do not charge, of course, but mainly by doing what Abraham did, chesed and charity, which has nothing to do with law. And all that is appealing to the Shekinah, and she see, oh, this guy is deserving it. And kingship, idolatry. She's look. I'm quoting the Sfatemi again. Or when she look at us, one of the things she's quoting us whether or not we overcome our idol worship. He said, if you're idol worshiper, you have no place in the Sabbath. Idol worshiper was allowed to exist because at the time of creation, Arab creation, when Elohim said in plural, let us make Adam in our image and our form, speaking in plural, he opened the door for idolaters to think that there are more than one God. Speaking plural. And we already discussed so many chapters, so many classes about what kind of idols are. Idols are anything that tie you down to our universe and let you forget about the Shekinah. So if you're tied down to anything, material, to either worshiping, to different, not only wood and stone, but anything that engages you so much. Commerce can be also an idol. Passion to science can also be an idol. Anything that tie you away so much that you forget about the Shekhinah. So when you come to the Sabbath, you are not there. So Shekhinah is this guy, or is mankind in general, or this guy is already tied down with the idolatry. If that's so, I'm flying away from him. That's all. And if she fly away from you, she leave you where you belong, to Elohim. And one more thing before we finish today. The very notion that we have our Sabbath in our day, and we move to the futuristic Sabbath. This very notion that the Sabbath become holier and holier as mankind progresses, that's Sfat Emet's main teaching. Sfat Emet is a Hasidic major teacher, the greatest Hasidic group in the universe, much larger than the Chabad. You're familiar with Chabad, but Gur, Sfat Emet is larger. So the main teaching there is the holiness of the Sabbath is dictated, but on you, what you have achieved. And as we go in history, we become more and more, as we cling more to Hashem, and doing more Apple, doing more work, changing ourselves more and more to her like he would, our Sabbath become holier. And who is the one who saw the process? Hold your seat. It's Noah. Noah is the only person ever who saw the two Sabbath, the beginning, the time of creation, and the one at the end of time. Because the Torah says, like quoting you in Talmud, it says, these are the generation of Noah. Noah was a righteous man. So the word Noah, which means rest, appears twice. These are the generation of Noah, side by side. This is the generation of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, so Noah. He saw two Sabbath. He saw Adam and Eve Sabbath, or little Sabbath, which is lower in holiness than the eternal Sabbath. This is the lowest Sabbath in existence, the time of Adam and Eve. He saw that in his own generation, and also he saw in his ark, he saw a taste of the futuristic Sabbath, because when YHVH prevailed in his ark during the flood, there was no death, no birth. The child could play safely on a snake pit. There was no rivalry, no hatred. Eternal Sabbath. So much he didn't want to go out after the flood. So who is the one who saw the entire process? Noah. You don't tell me that Noahide has nothing to do with the Sabbath. You are the one who saw the entire process. We believe in the entire process. We believe that, yes, there is a Sabbath at the time of creation, which is the lowest level of holiness, as mankind improve himself and incorporate the Shekhinah into our heart. And as we create more and more Apple and angels in the daily work, in this universe, not in heaven, in this universe, you need to create good things. We have the Shekhinah body, and we sit by the Sabbath, all these apples fly and join up the Shekhinah, and she come down, and she said, hello, my son, hello, my daughter. I will bless you, I'll kiss you. Well, you are my son and daughter. So I've stopped here at 9 o'clock. All that is only the first 8% of the Sabbath. We had 2 more to go. The Sabbath of of the Exodus. What's new there? And finally, the Sabbath of the covenant. What's new there?